And here it is, Wizkids Games Star Trek Alliance Dominion War Campaign. This is box 1 in the series. This has the Federation facing off against the Dominion. So this came about because a couple of members of my Discord and fellow YouTubers were discussing this. That's Darth Tyrax Presents. I'm going to link his channel down below, as well as Cathal Mechworks. And, you know, I actually got into this system a long time ago, the original Attack Wing. Only bought the starter and a couple of the ships, and then kind of just put it away. And after the discussion that they were having on my Discord, the bug bit me, and I decided to get back into the game. Unfortunately, I couldn't find what I had before, so this prompted me to get Star Trek Alliance. And the key thing here is that Star Trek Alliance is a game for 1 to 2 players. So keep adding starters as you add more players. So I'm mainly a solo player nowadays. This has a great AI system programmed for the game. Obviously, from the front of the box here, you're going to see you have 5 ships. You have 3 Jem'Hadar attack ships. You have an Akira class ship, as well as an Excelsior class ship. On the other side of the box is just the contents that are included in here. You get a campaign book, a full Star Trek Alliance rule book. So keep that in mind. This does not have the Attack Wing rule book, but it plays very similar to Attack Wing. You have the painted ships, you have the bases, ship tokens, the attack dice, the green defense dice, 2 blue dice that are used for the AI in the game. HeroClix maneuver dials. They're not really HeroClix maneuver dials. They are very similar to the Attack Wing and in a greater sense, the X-Wing miniature game dials. You have 110 action and status tokens, 1 planet token, 6 obstacle tokens, 13 maneuver templates, 1 range ruler, 1 AI logic card for the Jem'Hadar attack ships. You have 6 AI loadout cards, 20 upgrade cards, 4 ship and maneuver cards, 2 player cards, and 33 damage cards. Quite a lot in this box. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up and we'll see what's inside. All right off the bat, the thing that draws your eye are the ships. And the key difference for these ships in comparison to regular Attack Wing is that everything is painted, and if I can get this out, in a metallic color. So here's the Jem'Hadar attack ship, 1 of 3, metallic silver with some accents. You guys can't really see this, but they have purple accents as seen in Deep Space Nine. Here is the Akira class. Beautiful ship, fan favorite. The 2 other attack ships are the same. So we'll just take a look at the Excelsior. And the one thing that I didn't like initially when I actually bought into Attack Wing was the scale, because obviously there are going to be ships that are scaled correctly and other ships that are not. I don't recall whether or not the attack ships in DS9 were actually this large in comparison to, let's say, the Excelsior class. But, you know, there is a little bit of wiggle room in a game such as this. Obviously, I think you nowadays can 3D print some of the models. But, you know, if you're not into doing that and painting your own models, this is a great way to add ships to your fleets because they're pre-painted and you can just play right out of the box. So with the ships done, we'll take a look at the rest of the contents. You have 6 heavy cardstock boards, and we'll take a closer look at this in a little bit. This is the Jem'Hadar attack ship AI card. Okay. You have your damage deck. You have your cards, the rest of the cards, and we'll go through this later. You have your dice, including the 2 blue die that will represent the rolls, the choices that you can make for the Jem'Hadar attack ships. Don't need to see that. You got your pegs and knobs for the dials, and then your bases. Lastly, as you remove the insert, you'll see that you have 2 booklets here. One is the rules of play. So this is how you're going to play the game. All the rules for it. Again, very similar to Attack Wing, with the exception that it does have all the information and the missions for the AI, as well as how to run the AI and all that stuff. So that's a major difference between that and the core rulebook from the 2-player starter or the original starter. And then you have your campaign book. So it goes through a series of missions. Lastly, you have your big planet obstacle. Then your range ruler, as well as the longest movement ruler here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a closer look at some of these items. All right, so here is a closer look at the most unique part of this starter, the Jem'Hadar Attack Ship AI card. So you have your choose maneuver here, your choose action, combat phase, and then as you're doing the maneuvers, you'll roll 2d6 die, and it'll basically tell you, based on what you've chosen as the maneuver, what distance you're going to travel, whether you're banking or going straight ahead, all that fun stuff. So it's pretty cool. Nice logo and design on the back, and then obviously you have the Dominion symbol right there. All right. So you have your damage deck. This should be very similar to the 2 starters that came. I'm not an expert at this. Maybe one of my colleagues can chime in. But again, these are all your standard damage cards. Closer look at the dice. Red attack, green defense, and you have the 2 blue die for the Jem'Hadar AI. Obviously, we're not going to look at the pegs or the stands because that's pretty standard if you play Attack Wing and or X-Wing miniatures game. Take a look at the cardstock cards. So, you have obstacles. You have tokens that denote the mission. You have your Akira class and Excelsior class movement dial. I'm going to flip it around. Or at least the bottom of the dial. Again, just different obstacles on the other side. Okay. Next up is the second card. You have your numbers here to denote the ships, I guess. And then you have your ship cards as well as a runabout token. Okay. So these are the 3 attack ships. Their stats. And then the Excelsior class card, as well as the Federation, or the Akira class card. Now, the thing that you need to note is that in Alliance, you don't get any named or unique ships. They're all very generic. I think that's because it's supposed to represent your ship, because you will be captaining it, and you will, of course, create your own captain and name your ship. So they wanted to give you a generic representation of those ships. So turn it around. Actually, is this any different? No, these are all the same on each side. You have a damaged Miranda class right there. It's kind of cool. All right. Next up, you have more tokens. Let me zoom out. You also have more mission tokens. You have some of your movement rulers, scan, cloak, and your other tokens here. Just the other side. All right, third card here. More movement rulers, disabled tokens. I'm not quite sure what these are. Again, I'm not as familiar with Attack Wing as I probably should. All right. Next up, more movement rulers and more tokens. You also have the other end of the movement dial for the 2 Federation ships, the Akira and the Excelsior. Okay. And then your last token sheet. All right, we're going to move on to the cards. All right, first off, you have your Jem'Hadar Attack Ship card. It's blank. You get Captain Skill 1 on this side. You get 6 of them. On the other side, Jem'Hadar Attack Ship, Captain Skill 4. The ship's shield value is its printed shield value of +3. Okay. And then next up, you have your ship cards for the Federation. First off is the movement card for the Akira. And then your Akira class card, 21 points. The stats are right there. And then obviously on the other side, just the Alliance logo. So that's the Akira. Next up is the movement card and Excelsior class card and its stats. Okay. Another thing that you get in this card pack are 2 captain cards. Is obviously you can create your own captain with the permanent skills and experience that you want. What I would do is probably put these in clear plastic sleeves so that I can use dry erase to write in the captains. All right, we're going to move on to the other cards here. You have a commander card, science officer, helmsman. So with the commander, there are the actions, as well as the science officer and helmsman actions. All right. And you also have your tactical officer and an operations officer and their actions or special abilities. Okay. Next few cards. You have Wing Leader, Battle Hardened, and Inspiring. And then you have Evasive Pattern Delta, Calculating, and Impulse Upgrade. Next up, Impulse Efficiency, Detection Grid, and Reinforced Shielding. All right. And then Subspace Field, Improved Hull Plating, EMH. Okay. Dorsal Phaser Array, and 2 Photon Torpedo cards. All right. Finally, you have Enhanced Targeting, Full Spread, Overcharged Phasers, and lastly, Quantum Torpedoes. And there you have it, Wizkids Games Star Trek Alliance Dominion War Campaign Box number 1. Again, this is the Jem'Hadar attack ships, and you have an Akira class and Excelsior on the Excelsior class on the Federation side. Again, made for 1 to 2 players, but obviously you can add more as you add more of these starter boxes. Solo has a wonderful AI from what I hear. I'm going to try this game out, see how it goes, get that on film so you guys can watch. And if everything goes well, I will continue on with the box number 2, which is the Klingons and the Cardassians. So that'll be an interesting thing to add. Again, these are compatible with Attack Wing, although the downside is not having any unique ships. But again, because this is a campaign type game and a solo game, you can basically create your own captain and name your own starship, and it'll be your story for the duration of the campaign and all the missions that you're going to play in. Still not a bad way to get into the Attack Wing. Still not a bad way to get into the Attack Wing game system. You get 5 ships, and a great way to, especially for me, to get back into Attack Wing and bolster the fleets that I'm going to be building out. So anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and click like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I appreciate it if you would. Click the bell notification icon to get notified of all new unboxings coming out of the channel. And click the link in the description below to join our Discord server. That's the best way I can personally interact with you and chit-chat you about Star Trek Alliance, Attack Wing, and any other game that we cover on the channel. That's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more Star Trek Alliance coming from Wargaming Noob.